Modern politics still carries the vocabulary of its creators: the Senate, the Republic, the power of the veto, even the month of August on your calendar. These concepts share a lineage forged across 2,000 years of Roman evolution. Archaeology suggests a different start than legends of wolf-raised twins to lead. This balance provided the domestic stability needed for 5 centuries of military campaigns. They defeated and destroyed their greatest rival, Carthage, during the Punic Wars, eventually burning the city and enslaving its survivors. This map shows their dominance. Rome expanded from Italy, absorbing Carthage, Spain, and Alexander's empire in Greece. But moving this foreign gold into Italy strained the system. Wealth concentrated at the top, while the working class suffered, leading to a century of civil war. Expansion without a secure internal economy fractured the Republic. The chaos created a power vacuum, leaving the public desperate for a strongman to restore order. Julius Caesar rose to fill that vacuum. Sent to conquer the tribes of Gaul, Caesar waged a 6-year campaign that left 1 million people dead. He returned to Rome with immense wealth and massive political popularity. Worried by his influence, the Senate ordered Caesar to disband his army. He refused. In 49 BC, he marched his forces across the Rubicon River, defeated his rivals in a civil war, and ultimately became the dictator for life. A faction of senators believed the only way to save their democracy was to remove its head. On March 15, 44 BC, they surrounded Caesar during a meeting and stabbed him 23 times. The assassination failed to achieve its goal. Caesar was beloved by the common citizens, and his murder only enraged the public and triggered another civil war. Caesar's adopted son, Octavian, emerged as the victor. After defeating Mark Antony, he seized undisputed control of Rome. By trying to save the Republic with violence, the Senate ended it. The democratic process was gone, replaced by the military as the ultimate source of power. Octavian took the name Augustus and initiated the empire. He ruled for 41 years, starting an era of stability known as the Pax Romana that an exhausted public was willing to accept. Under capable leaders, the system functioned. Emperors like Vespasian and Trajan restored order, expanded trade, and built large-scale public works like the Colosseum. But the system relied on the character of the ruler. Caligula executed people out of paranoia, while Nero drained the treasury on personal luxuries and watched as districts of Rome burned. The empire traded political freedom for temporary stability, but it had a structural weakness. The safety of the entire known world now rested on the sanity of one person. By 285 AD, Rome was strained. The borders were too vast for one administration to defend, leading to a cycle where over 25 different emperors were crowned, and nearly all were assassinated in a single century. To address the administrative collapse, Emperor Diocletian physically split the empire into 2 separate zones. This map shows the fracture. You had the Latin-speaking West, anchored by Rome, and the Greek-speaking East. Emperor Constantine briefly reunited the halves and introduced Christianity, but the separation was permanent. Over time, the East grew wealthy and fortified, while the West faced an economic crisis. Splitting the empire managed the logistics, but it isolated the West. Without the riches of the East, the western half was left vulnerable. Foreign Germanic tribes identified these weaknesses. Recognizing the West's economic decline, groups like the Goths and Vandals crossed the borders and sacked Roman cities. In 476 AD, a Germanic general deposed the last Western emperor, a boy named Romulus. The Western Roman Empire was gone. The eastern half endured. Known as the Byzantine Empire, it would survive for another 1,000 years, preserving the architecture and wealth the West had lost. Rome's history provides a case study in institutional survival. It demonstrates that civilizations must reinvent their systems to endure, but also proves that even the largest empires collapse when outward expansion exceeds internal stability.